Today we're going to introduce you to Connecteam, how it works, a little bit how it looks like. We have our dashboard. This is where admins can log in or users from the desktop, and we have what it looks like on the mobile. I'm going to get more to it, but this is a very mobile first platform. We've designed it to be very comfortable to use on the go because we understand a lot of the audience doesn't always sit in front of a computer, the majority of the audience in your case, and that's why it's a very mobile first in perception. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So on the left side, we have our navigation bar. Overview is the page we're here on right now, which gives us a snapshot on different things that are taking place. Activities, zoom in on the activity that takes place in the account. Users is when we manage our users. Groups is where we reflect the way we think about our organization. It helps us segment into different groups. That's going to be super useful. We're going to see it later down the road as we start looking at the features. And then under communication, we'll review today chat, update, our knowledge base. All this goes into a knowledge base in a bit of a different layout, our events and our directory. We've also created all kind of forms that we've seen that our Chick-fil-A franchisees are using, so we're going to introduce you to them as well. Let's dive in and see how that works. We're actually going to start with the updates capability. Updates allow us to create different posts that we can publish to our feed. So I can come here and create something from scratch, and we can write here what we want, and then we can add all those different things. So images, videos, GIFs, files, YouTube videos, locations, link, live polls, or even shortcuts. We're going to talk about this capability. I think it's very, very useful. We can choose nice backgrounds, or we can choose dedicated color. We even have here your official brand color. Let's add a GIF just for the fun. So Chick-fil-A, let's take this guy. And you'll see that everything that we create has a preview. That is going to be true in many places across the system. The idea is always to help you understand what the experience is going to be like for our team members, for our employees. Our next phase is to choose our target audience. And this is where the groups that we've mentioned come into play. So we can publish it to everyone or to all our admins. We can also do it by team. So our front of house team, our back of house team, etc. By role, by branch, or even by gender. This is all based on our user database, so we can create as many segmentations as we want, and those segmentations will be automatically maintained. We can also make it for specific users if we want to. I'm actually going to go ahead and publish it to everyone all together. And let's have a look at our settings. The system was designed to help us be very, very proactive. So do we want to publish it right now, or maybe we want to schedule it for a future date? We can even make it a recurring item. I'm actually going to publish it right now. This is going to be our gateway, the notification the users are going to see on screen. Who do we want to publish it from? Do we want to publish it from me, or do we want to publish it from someone else? Let's publish it from Chick-fil-A. I'm going to require confirmation. So I read this button. How long should it stay? Is it a day, 3 days, etc.? We're going to allow likes and comments, and we can schedule removal if we want to. Let's enable the auto translate feature, a summary page, and that's it. Now we are being transferred to our summary page. So this is what the experience looks like for the user. You will see that we have here at the bottom, we will have the I read this button. I'm just going to go ahead and click remind me later. And you're going to see that it's still on the feed until I confirm this. Now I also get a glimpse here at who viewed and who didn't view. I can see that one user viewed. This is my own user, and who didn't view. And if I want, I can remind them. Okay, so I'm just going to send a reminder to help the team read the information. We're going to go back to the dashboard in a second, but let's have a quick look at what's going on here. If we're going to click on our directory, we're going to see that we have all the contacts that were recently used. We're going to scroll down. We're going to also have work contacts. What is a work contact? For example, I want to find the person for the ice cream machine. And then if I'll tap on them, I'll have their information. Okay, so we can really find all the folks that are relevant, and we have our team members. Now I can search team members. For example, I want to see just the front of house team. This is all my team from front of house. Or I can search them by name. Let's look, for example, at Mia. We can see that Mia has all the information in here. Now I can start a call, okay, which will take me there. I can text her, which will take me to the text messages, or I can open the chat. We're going to get to that later on today. I can see that Maya's from the drive-through team, the role, and she's working in both restaurants. I can also add her to my contacts if I want to real quick, or I can call from here as well. So just making it simple for everything. So that's our directory. Back to the feed. So we've seen this update. We also have here celebrations. So celebrations shows us birthdays and anniversaries. For example, we can see that Brittany is now celebrating, and we can put all the comments and likes and everything that we want to make it very compelling. We can also see the folks that are celebrating 12 years. Wow. Okay, so that's also a possibility. And if we're looking at our feed, so here are different things that we've done. We can see all the comments and engagements that the team have had with this aspect. So of course you can do all those different things. Here we are seeing an example for an update that is a little bit more operational, letting us know that we have those new items. And this can also take me directly to my uniform order form. And this is what my experience would be. So I'm going to do female. I'm going to choose red polo and let's do straight pants. Shirt size is going to be medium. Pen size is going to be 22. Pen size length is going to be 33. And then I'm going to want 2 t-shirts, 1 pants, and we are good to go. And I've just submitted it. Great. And now I can look a few other examples, right? So certifications, that's another possibility. We can have live polls. Are you guys excited to work at Chick-fil-A? We can publish our seasonals, and this would connect what we'll later learn as our knowledge base. So these fall's items, next fall items, etc. We can celebrate different things in our culture, right? This is what the celebration features look like. So you can see all the comments and everything from an individual perspective. There are also a lot of gamification items. So you can see that only admins can see this item, how different folks were updated. This is a nice example of how we can use recurring updates. Every first of the month, send out this update. And then if the answer is no, that's easy. I can submit it. And if the answer is yes, I can come and say, okay, do I need phone number and address, and submit the information. Encouraging our future leaders to submit their leadership application. Trainings. So we can create different types of events where I can see all the event details. I can download relevant information, read whatever it is that I need to read, frequency, clean, etc. We can see who's attending and who's RSVP'd. I'm going to say yes, I'm going to attend that event, and now I can add it to my calendar. I want to bring us back to the dashboard for a second. So we'll see here the statistics of everything that we've done. And maybe one of the more interesting things is that you're going to see that this was sent to 18 people, and one of them have already seen and confirmed it. And you can also see it here. If you want to, you can filter by, let's say, show me only the front of house team. Or let's do based on status. So show me only the people that didn't view this, so I can select them all and notify them. Hey team, please complete this when you can. So for the first time, we're able to have everything measurable, everything immediate. It's very simplistic to close the loop. And let's look at some of the updates that we've got here that are a little bit more engaging. So we can see here the keep shining aspect. We can see that 10 out of our 18 folks have seen it. We can see that we've had 19 reactions. You can see here who liked it and who commented. So very, very measurable communication. We can see here over time the engagement that the team had with this activity. So very informative, very sophisticated tool to help us control everything. Now, I want to talk a little bit about our chat functionality. The chat is something very fundamental in how we perceive operations and communications on all levels of the organization, which is why it's very intertwined in a lot of different places. So you can access it from here. If we're on another widget, you can also open it from the side. So whenever you are in the platform, it's also very, very indicative. And of course, it has center place inside our application. This is a chat that was designed in mind for organizational use. So obviously you can do one-on-one team chats, channels, which is one-side communication from specific individuals to the group. The group will only have reading permissions. Let's have a look quickly on how that looks like from our mobile side of things. So if I'll go to my chat function, I can start a new conversation with my team. I can archive conversations. So for example, I can come here and archive that conversation, which will then be under my archived conversations. If I'm going to the team itself, then you'll see that I can do all those things that I can do for my private day life, images, videos, files, GIFs. I can also put shortcuts to different aspects. So let's say I want someone to be able to do a time punch adjustment. So I can just come here and send that time punch adjustment. We have a differentiation between all, unread, teams. But beyond those classical items, of attaching and emojis and mention and forward and search, the really interesting thing about Connecteam Chat is two aspects. One, it was designed for organizational use. That means you're the owner of the data. If you archive a user, they immediately lose access to all the information that was exchanged over the chat. If you add a new manager to your front of a house team, you don't need to manually add them to the group. The system will do it for you based on the groups that we've mentioned before. If you want to have advanced permission to define who can start one-on-one conversation, who can create new groups, you can do it with the system permission that we have within Connecteam. If you want to moderate, you can delete inappropriate comments. More than that, you have the governance. So you will see every single group. You'll be able to see the members, the traffic. You can add yourself to the group or edit it or even delete the group if needs be. So you have the governance on everything with inside the chat itself. So far about the chat, we have reviewed the directory briefly. I just want to show you what that looks like. So you can control for each individual. Let's say that I don't want to show my own mobile number, so I can uncheck that. And now in the directory, you will not see my mobile definitions. If we're looking at the settings, so we can choose what will be seen. And again, we're seeing the preview of how that's going to look like for everyone. Do we want team or we don't want team? Do we want to put title above the team? So you'll get full control of it. And again, permissions control. Let's talk about our knowledge base. And for this, I actually want to take us to the application itself. So if I'll click here on the Assets tab, you're going to see that I have here knowledge base, employee handbook, even link to pathway. So I don't really have permissions to pathway, but it's a link that we've embedded that could potentially just open the pathway application. We can put here our employee handbook. So this is a PDF that we've embedded, and you can see that we can have all the information that we want, the Chick-fil-A story. I can find all the details that I need right here at my fingertips. And more than that, let's say that I want to find our seasonal items. I'm just going to type in seasonal, and our advanced search is going to find all the different things. So I can see I want to find the fall. There we go. I found the fall. And it will take me directly to the different things. So I can do operational aids, things like this is what we do with toy swaps. This is what we do to clean the egg station. All the information available right at our fingertips. So just like a Google Drive aspect, we can come here. We can create folders, text, links, files. We can put it all in here. Of course, it's all governed under permission, so we can definitely make that useful. As you can see, I have here 3 different folders. That's because we can always add additional knowledge base folder. So this was our knowledge base. Real quick about events. Events give us the opportunity to create new events. Let's just look at our training session that we've seen before. You can see how many be attending, how many not attending. You can allow maybe or not. And again, you can see here all the people that have confirmed attendance. So you can follow up just with the individual that did not. So this covers our basics for communication. I want to bring us back to the mobile for a second. Beyond the search itself, we've created here quite a few forms that we think are relevant. And just like with the knowledge base, you can make a form that is individual, or they can make recommendations for different team members. Submit referrals. This will go to the relevant person within HR. Here are a few examples to think that we've actually seen Chick-fil-A folks use it. So time patch adjustment is one of the more popular one. Let's say I forgot to clock in. So this was today. This was my 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this is my signature. And now I'm submitting it. We can do wellness checks, right? So this form is designed to gather important health and wellness information from team members who are feeling unwell. We can do uniform orders, which we've seen before. We can vote for the star of the month. And let's crown our next star of the month. So it works, nominate, tag a team member who lived up to our core values, explain. So I'm going to nominate Mia Smith. Photos if I want, and submit. Texas food handler permit, leadership application, update for personal information. So we've seen that. We can also create leadership forms, customer incident, call out log, verbal documentation if we need to. So there's a bunch of things that we can do here to help our team kind of manage things. Lastly, I want to cover with you our user database. This is how we manage our user details. So let's take, for example, birthdays. You can see that 15 out of 18 people have completed their birthday, 3 did not. Again, we can follow up with them. We can send them a chat message, so it's totally up to us. You can create as many fields as you want. And the nice things about those fields is that they are later serving our groups. So you see I can create here, automatically create groups, and this will automatically create groups based on all locations that we will have in the future. You can also control who will see this field as an admin and who will have the ability to control it as an admin, which obviously give you a very deep level of permissions. We're not going to dive too deep into permissions. I'm just going to say that there's very sophisticated permissions in the system. If we mentioned before that it's very simple to archive someone, I can just come here, archive them, and now they no longer have access to the chat, to the knowledge base, or to anything at all, really. And if they are rehired later down the road, I can just go ahead and restore them, and now they're back in my team. One more thing that I want to cover with you is what we call the admin tab. So the admin tab is something that naturally is only available for admins. I can manage users from here. So if I want to add users, I can add them from here or promote admins. I can also track different activity. I can create an update from the mobile if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it right now. I can look at different forms that were submitted. So let's look at that time punch adjustment that was submitted. I can come here and say, this is approved. And what will happen in this case is that the user will be notified about it. I can say this was declined. Okay, so we can easily do those things from here. But the bottom line is to give you everything you need on the go, really, really quick, really, really easy. Thank you so much for listening in and have a wonderful day.